Hi there, Thunderleaf fans. Welcome back to another episode of Donnie Does It. I appreciate you all joining me today and coming back after a couple weeks off. I know it's been a little bit intermittent this month here at Thunderleaf Games, and we appreciate you sticking with us. We've had a great deal going on, so yeah, we appreciate that. So we are going to pick up kind of where we left off. You may be seeing it here on stream. We've been working on the Redemptor Dreadnaught for Warhammer 40k, and we're going to keep working on that project a bit today. We're going to also talk about some of the different things involved, including basing. We're going to try some sponging on this model, though we'll see how that goes. It's a new technique for me, but I'm here to fail with y'all, so let's check it out. That's what painting's all about, is learning. There's nothing that can't be fixed. So this is kind of a cool place to hang out, enjoy a little decompression from your week. If it's been as crazy as the last week has been for me, I'm sure you need it. And yeah, just having some fun, whether it's been good like mine or bad or otherwise. So give us a shout out. Let us know how you're doing in chat. Just a quick thank you, as always, to my producer, Greg, who you've all know and love from Rave Reviews on Wednesdays and Sundays, as well as our main flagship stream on Mondays. We will be getting back to that in some form this week, so love to have you there. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow so you get those updates on those different shows as they come out. And yeah, we will get going here. So welcome Sunshine, welcome ALC, glad to have you here. Thanks for joining us. How's your days going? So let's talk about some basing here. So I have fidgeting hands. So I left the base sitting next to me the other day while I was on the computer, and suddenly stuff ended up on it. So I apologize. I probably should have done that on stream, but to be honest, it's not super crazy techniques either. So let's see if I can get that in stream for y'all here. So what I did here is I've got a roll of, it's like probably 1/8 inch thick cork, and it just tears up. So he's here still. So this is what it looks like thickness wise beforehand, about just pretty thin. This is just a chunk, and so I just tear a big chunk off the roll of it, and then I start kind of tearing in different shapes, giving random nice jagged edges. I kind of layer it up to the point I want. I then add some different basing materials here. These are called Battlefield Rocks from Army Painter. Just a cool little product, cheap way to do it. Go ahead, gather pebbles off the street. I mean, it doesn't have to be an expensive hobby if you don't want it to be. I had a friend who used to grab slate stone and use that on his base, and they binary only sponge. Oh, I 100% paid for fake rocks. But to be fair, they also are lightweight rocks, so when they break off my models inevitably, they don't break the model as well. So there's a little bit to that. But yeah, 100% paid for fake rocks. Yeah, binary big gamer grass will definitely be coming into play later here. We'll be using some tufts and things like that. But this kind of just the starting point. I layer in all the cardboard, put some of these kind of things on it, and then I'm going to actually spray paint base primer the base as a whole here again. And that'll give us a good starting point to start doing some more fancy stuff to it. So since I cheated and worked a little bit off cam, I definitely wanted to address that with y'all so you know what it's going. Yeah, so as some of you obviously know, I was off stream the last week. As my producer is pointing out, there is a new ring on that finger. She locked me up. What can I say? All right, so who wants to try some sponging? I realized immediately today, binary students, I'm like, yeah, we're gonna get started on that. That I really screwed up just not doing that before I do the details. Yeah, no, it's gonna take almost seconds, I'm sure, Madam Hydra. Welcome to the chat there. Appreciate you joining me. So good to talk to y'all again already. All right, so we're going in with a little body bone from Citadel Color here. This is going to be kind of a bright khaki color, almost a white, that's going to really make this pop. So we'll see how this goes. I'm actually going to just drip a little bit onto my wet palette here, so I have a lot to play with. Interesting. So maybe I'll start with the Xandri dust then. It's good advice. Oh, you are right. But I'll probably shade back again is kind of what I was thinking actually. And just do some kind of like point shading. We'll see. Does remind me though, I did want to start with the um, base coat color anyways, because I have some areas that needed touched up anyways, and that should help take care of it. So I immediately throw the brush full of sponge paint. I'm pretty sure there's a bright tan spot now right on my crotch. All right, so let's get this out here. So what I'm using too for sponging, so I picked these a 3 pack of these up for like $2. It's a grabber tool. So, just a little grabber tool, and then I have a cheap, cheap sponge. Rip off a little piece, throw it in the grabber, and go nuts. Literally the cheapest sponge I could find. $2.99 synthetic pack of sponges from Michaels. So while I may pay for fake rocks, I also pay for fake sponges. A lot of what I'm doing right now is actually just touching up where I had mistakes from earlier. Anywhere where the paint may be a little thin. Because this is the same color I primed the model with, actually. And I think what we'll do is we'll kind of mix some paints a little bit and kind of work towards that brighter color, because I think that's a good advice there, Binary. Yeah, like 100%. I've seen people use like kitchen sponges. I mean, I don't think there's a wrong way to go with sponges from what I can tell in my initial research. I'm sure there's better and worse ones, but yeah, this one's pretty soft. Oh man, I just saw that about gripping the sponge in tweezers there. Yeah, that would take a toll. Like Got a four-legged helper under the desk today. So, how's everybody's week going so far? Everybody caught up, catching up, surviving? It seems like, fortunately, this has been a big enough model that doing the details first is not backfired. But if I did a smaller model, I definitely would need to. We were watching for those reports, Madam Hydra. Or were you supposed to sail out of their binary? Yeah, I fly down to Miami myself next week to sail. Oh, yeah, I'm working on some paint there real quick. Mixing a little bit of colors here just to work on that next layer. I'm going to start somewhere inconspicuous. got that a little too wet. Or paint into that. Yeah, I'm also not a huge fan of flying. Like, uncomfortable. So far, most flights I've taken don't really save me much time. Like, I'd personally rather drive just about anywhere. So it's definitely a stippling here with the brush, just tapping, tapping, tapping. So as I keep saying, technique over talent for sure. Like, And then, let's see, get that in there for you. Let's see. Not wanting to focus it enough for it. Yeah, not really focusing quite well enough to get a good view of the stippling that's going on, but hopefully it should become a little more dramatic here as we add more layers. Just my camera. I see my hand kind of ducking out of screen on y'all. This really is a process. It's the definition of trust the process, isn't it? They're binary because it's coming together. Yeah, sending somebody who orders a veggie pizza of meats is kind of like just a punch to the face. All those extra minerals in the water there. Yeah. May not be tasty to drink, but it adds flavors to your pizza dough. let's get a little compare and contrast there. You can really kind of see the color here. Let's go ahead and zoom that in. American pie. Did they at least send an apple pie out with it? Little stretch break here. Correct. Yep. Move on to the arm here now. Do that a bit. Yeah, Sunshine, this technique is explicitly for that list too, because I got to paint up all the really awesome tanks you gave me. Um, Sunshine is quite the 3D printer, as we've mentioned before here. And as soon as he gets that Etsy shop, we will be throwing plenty of advertisements his way. So Greg's asking here about kind of where I start, what my thought process is here. So a lot of what you focus on is kind of where the light's going to hit. So it's going to be brightest on those edges and then kind of dullest in the center of a raised platform. Like on the legs, I kind of started from a top down and it gets darker underneath here. Oh, let's see if I can get it on camera. Underneath the legs, you can kind of see it's brightest at the top of the knees and grades down. You can really see it on this one here. So yeah, kind of start with those edges, and then actually I'll go back here and I'll do some edge highlighting after this, so I kind of hit those sharp edge with almost a white to Really show that light glinting off of there. So I get the paint a little damp. I've been dabbing the brush pretty heavily on my palette just to keep it not overly loaded, but I'm trying to avoid as much as possible any kind of pulling and sliding, keeping it to stippling. Hello, dog nose. just so we can pretend like this is an educational podcast here as well. Did you all know that 95% of Civil War surgeries were done with anesthetic? I knew Greg would appreciate that a lot there. I don't know, but I do know that the mortality of finger amputation was 4%. I remember that. Oh, 3? Am I off? Ooh. Maybe it was the toe that was 4. So next week, or I should say a couple weeks from now, unfortunately, we are going to be on another hiatus for Donnie Does It here. I will be out of the country for the next 2 weeks. But when we get back, we are going to do touch ups because, oh my gosh, have I gotten white paint everywhere? Yeah, the whole time, Binary, we thought of you while we were there. It was a quick trip before the airport, but yeah, definitely check it out. You will vibe with that entirely, sir. Yeah, I'm gonna go in with some I think some not Deepkin Flash. Let's find it. Some Iron Rack skin to add a little bit almost white. And I'm gonna do some edge highlighting with that. And then I'm gonna do the like the bright spots with that as well. Just hit a little bit. Are you guys going to North Carolina next week? Is that where your tournament next week is? That's awesome. Yeah, but you know how much fun you've been having with those 75 models binary. I know you're gonna do it. So yeah, I will probably try to do some sponge painting on the red as well, just to kind of match that consistency. So it'll have to be very carefully. Yeah, I'll get like one model done for you, and you can do the other 74. All right. Well, that's quite a bit of progress tonight, especially for new technique. I'm not sure I love it. I don't hate it. Definitely going to be nice for doing some like vehicles and things like that. Certainly quick. Um, very textured, not super smooth. So it's definitely a little different. This model's definitely going to stand out from the rest of my army, but it does look good. I am happy with it. Just stylistically very different than what I'm used to. But yeah, all right. Well, everybody, please make sure to join us Sunday for rave reviews. Monday, we'll have something for the flagship show. I'm not sure if we're doing Humblewood or something a little spookier as we go into end of the spooky season here, which, if you ask my wife, it never ends. But we tend to focus that in on October. Otherwise, like, subscribe, and thank you all for being here. I really appreciate you joining me as we do a little hobbying and chilling. See y'all next week, or 2 weeks, 3 weeks from now. Holy moly, it's going to be a minute, folks, but just stay tuned, like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you're notified when we do get back to Donnie Does It.